What is up, people? I am back. For those of you who've been watching live, this video is going to be shorter. For those of you on YouTube, it's because we split today. Dota, Warzone. So, I got about 2 hours, a little less. Excuse me, that was disgusting. Oh. Whew. And, of course, I have to restart. Great. Solid game. While we wait, I'll turn the face cam on. Because it looks like it might be a bit.
Oh, you got to restart it?
Mm-hmm. Even though I updated the other day. I never launched it after updating. So, even though it was like a day and a half ago or 2 days ago that I updated, it needs to restart because there's in-game stuff. It's bad, honestly bad coding to be for real. There's almost no game I know that you update, then launch, and then it needs to restart afterward. If you update it before you launch it, it's done.
I mean, that's how it should be.
Yep, pretty simple. Everybody else seems to make it happen.
How about those installing shaders, though?
That's what I mean. Shaders, like, what is this?
I apparently did start it, so...
I have to restart fucking Blizzard because it's being ass right now. Of course, now I hit to close Blizzard out, and Warzone is still loading, so I'm sure it's gonna just cancel. Just, yeah, quit the desktop. It's fine. Yes, quit the desktop. I cannot connect to online services because Blizzard is currently off. My entire thing is, my PC is just freezing up on me, but it'll be fine. We'll shake it off. Shake it off. I haven't played Warzone in a while, so I'm going to be hot garbage.
Don't worry, I'm going to be even worse.
Oh, yeah, Azzy, 100%. 100%. I'm on face cam because I'm just trying to close things, open things, make Blizzard work. Should be good this time. Right, Azzy? Fuck Dota, dude. I've never had such a loss streak in the last, let's call it 2 months, 3 months, that I ever have playing Dota. Like, I don't know, man. Every game now honestly feels random, and I mean that. It feels absolutely random who wins. I can go in with a solid strat, solid meta hero, a meta build, and we just get absolutely stomped. Or I go in randomly, have no conception of what's a good hero. I'm like, I'll just play whatever I want. In a bad lane, bad matchup, and I'll lose lane, and then we win. And it's like, I don't get it. So it just feels so random that I don't even want to. Like, that's how I feel. I can switch this over now, by the way. Share screen. So just today, I'm sick of it. I played for... Go ahead. I played for 3 hours. That's enough for me. Plus, there's not that many people left. It's just me and Furry, so you know how I feel about playing smaller stacks in Dota. It's just honestly asking to wish for death.
Yeah, it's also, I mean, with it being the two of us, it's honestly not worth it.
Yeah, honestly, it is. I don't even know what I would change about Dota, to be honest with you. I'm not sure why I have such a hard time recently. Sorry, I'm just looking at the store real quick. Okay. I'm not sure why I'm having a hard time. I don't know. That's why I'm having a hard time, I guess, because I don't know. You know, the same heroes are said, like, Spectre's really good, right? And I usually do win my games with Spectre, because she's in such a good spot. But I'll play, like, I don't know, Jug, right? And Jug's still a decent hero right now, win rate-wise. And I'll play Jug, and I'll win lane. And it's like, I'm doing great. I had multiple games today where I was a core who was, like, 12-2, and we lost. And I know it's also because of who we play with, right? And I understand that's going to be part of it. The people we play with, as a general rule, and I mean basically everybody, is terrible at team fighting. Absolutely hot garbage at team fighting. So, whenever team fighting comes up, we usually lose. I can never get my abilities off. I can never get anything done because everybody dies instantly.
I'll gladly admit to that. I'm garbage at that point of the game.
Right. And so, like, we just need, like, people to, I don't know, position better in team fights and get CCs off, but I feel like our supports are usually, like, supports matter a lot in late game team fights because of the CC, and I feel like we're never getting the CC on their cores, but then, like, I get CC'd for, like, 7 seconds straight and then die, and it's like, this shouldn't happen, right? Whoever's CCing me should be stunned back so I don't get chain CC. Like, if a Lion's Earth spikes me, I damn well better not get hexed right afterward, because that means that whoever the support is should realize, oh shit, we should stun Lion. And it just, like, won't happen. And it's like, alright, well, this is why we are losing. I hit the wrong button to open.
Yeah, I mean, and not to trash anybody we play with, but the lower MMR people playing supports doesn't help in that regard because they don't always use the items or abilities at the right time.
Yeah, I pointed out a couple times today that Rocket could have saved me with a Glimmer Cape. He just didn't.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not,
again,
I'm not trying to trash Rocket. Rocket knows. That's why I coach him, right? It's all good.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate.
I mean, and I'd probably be in that situation if I was playing support as well.
Perhaps.
I'm not good at being support because I don't get the items are my problem. The too many active items are my issue.
Yeah,
sure, why not?
I understand. It is hard. Dota's a hard game. It is upsetting though, because like I'll try to improve parts of my role, right? I play safe lane, so I try to get better at the itemization. I try to get better at last hitting, better at farming, whatever the case may be. Oops, I don't know why I did that. And sometimes it feels like other people will stagnate, and I guess I can't blame them if they don't care to improve. They don't care to, yeah, probably. They don't care to improve, but I do see some people who just seem to not care to, like, I guess, learn. And it can be frustrating as somebody who's really trying to win, because it's like I'm trying my damnedest to do my thing better, and other people aren't always. I'm not even saying anybody today, just in general. Just a general rule of people.
We got someone else going. No, he's not coming to the roof. There's so many people on the garage.
People also just don't they don't remember, and I guess it's my fault too, because like I don't take an active role in trying to tell people what to pick. I figure that if they want advice, they'll ask for it. Otherwise, they're usually not going to listen anyway. But then I'll get, and I told Rocket today, and it's fine, because yet again, I love Rocket. But I told Rocket today, I was like, he picked Coddle and then went safe lane with me. And so I let that one go. I didn't even say anything because I already knew. I was like, everybody knows how I feel about Coddle safe lane as a support. But he did it again the next game, and I was like, Rocket, you know how I feel about Coddle safe lane. He's just a crappy support. He's not the worst. He's acceptable in a way, but he's not good. So they swapped lanes, which was cool. That was fine. That's why I spoke up too, because I didn't want that. It's just that sort of thing you'd think people would remember. Since most of Rocket's time is either playing with me or Mercy. So it's not like he plays with like 8 billion people and I'm just one of the billion, you know what I mean? So I would imagine he'd remember, but I don't blame him, it's fine. I don't remember everything either.
I try to remember, but I can't always remember what other people like and dislike for the most part.
I hear some gunfire on the other side of towards parking garage. Go get him. I'll stay here.
Yes, okay.
Thought I was gonna fall and take damage there. Welcome back, Azzy.
As he should come play.
Yeah, Azzy should play, but he's a coward and doesn't play shooters.
I mean, I'm terrible at shooters, so it's not like he'd be the only one here that's not great at them.
I am decent. Not gonna say good, that's an exaggeration. I'm fine. I can't wait till Halo Infinite comes out. Let's go, holiday season.
We got a Most Wanted. Nope. FAL here.
I have one. Oh wait, it's a green one?
Yeah.
I'll upgrade. Got 4 more bullets in the clip.
You know what? Do you want the Soul of the Beast instead?
What's Soul of the Beast?
Orange LMG.
I already have a buzzkill for an assault rifle, so it seems pointless.
That's fine. Just wanted to make sure that just in case. Because
Armor, if you don't have a bunch, I'm full.
Armor's over here.
I've got 2, so yeah, I'll grab that. Oh geez, somebody took the one in the plane.
They did. Hey, I'm gonna watch the back.
There.
In the side bed. He jumped.
Right here.
Team wipe.
Nice. That was a team wipe?
Yep, team wipe.
Nice, good job.
That's probably why he did it. His teammate already died.
Yeah. Alright. I had the wrong gun out, unfortunately. If I'd had my PP buys, then I might have been okay.
I only hit him like once or twice in the plane. I feel bad. I had a decent angle, and I only got like 1 bullet in them. thus him jumping and being able to down you.
I mean, I only hit him once, and then I threw a grenade at him, but he jumped out at me, so...
That's probably why I jumped, yeah. If he had stayed for just a second, I was definitely going to kill him, but it's not your fault. You didn't know I had a good angle. I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Another FAL. It's great, though.
Yeah.
Dota makes me cry sometimes, Azzy. I just wait for the day that I stop playing forever. Whether it be a month from now, a year from now, multiple years from now. I definitely won't play Dota forever. I eventually will die. And then I can truly be happy.
By the way, I was looking up the 7 Days to Die stuff.
Yeah, me too.
And apparently stilt houses are not good.
Okay. It's because they're going to fall, right? They're going to break the legs.
No, it's because I think they'll be all right if I think if you make a ramp that lets the zombies get to you, but if you don't let them get to you, they'll just indiscriminately kill everything.
As well.
Oh.
Well, I know that there is gravity in 7 Days to Die a little bit, so if the stilts do get broken, the house will fall.
Yeah. Oh, exactly, and you'll lose everything in it. Oh, that's a car.
They're not stopping.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make sure that I reinforce all the sides of it. So
yeah, Sean was talking about the same thing about houses. He wants us to activate the Blood Moon again, which I'm fine with.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I suppose that'll work out.
No, I wasn't really that against it to begin with. I just wanted Sean because he was the one dying all the time, which I was right. I assumed that he would do very poorly, and I was correct. So I figured a Blood Moon would be an extra punishing thing because I didn't know we'd have guns. Like the fact that we have like an AK-47 and stuff was not something I could guarantee.
Yeah,
and if we didn't have like a junk turret and AK-47 right now, we probably would not be in a good. Ooh, books.
Yeah, I think we're in a good spot for
Epic
it.
Sniper. I would like to be on top of a roof or something. Yeah, we'll be fine. And Sean pointed out you can only have one junk turret per person, but each person can put one down. I said it was too much work for me to put a junk turret down, but...
I'll be able to put down 2 once I finish the tree.
Oh, the tree lets you put down a second one?
Yeah. Last rank lets you use 2.
Bunch of money. There's a bloodline shotgun and a watchful eye crossbow.
Oh, yes. Crossbow is definitely better than my thing.
Your FAL, I assume, is what you mean.
No, I was using... I picked up
I have $23,000, by the way.
Oh, nice.
I wasn't really looking. I wasn't really thinking about it.
I actually had I had one of the Warden rifles.
Where's the nearest buy station we can get a loadout drop to? It's actually, there's one right over here.
Vendor marked.
Oops.
We probably should try to go to a buy station. We need our loadouts. And we'll find a place to chill at.
Not gonna lie, I did forget how to work the map.
I don't use a controller, so I have no idea.
I know. I pressed the fire button instead of the zoom in and out. Good thing I wasn't using an RPG.
Lol. There's armor inside this if you need it. I didn't.
I've got max.
I have 8, so. Alright, I'll buy it.
Oh, you've got a satchel?
Yeah. Just cover me the best you can. How close is that? Eh, not close enough. Find another one.
112?
It's because it's in an open area. That's why I don't like it.
Friendly recon's online.
Gas is closing. Get to the new safe zone. UAV entering the AO.
Alright, looks like we're good. What do I even want to use?
Planting Claymore.
Okay.
I
spent a bunch of money. I spent all my money, by the way, on using a UAV, then buying another UAV, and buying a self-revive.
Yeah,
I was rich as shit, so I could afford all of that with a loadout. Alright, now getting to a roof or something would be cool. Where exactly, I'm not sure. Maybe this roof? Door's open up there, though, so someone's been here. I'm climbing straight up. I'm actually hoping no one's up here.
I'm not getting anything on heartbeat. Yo, I just heard a door.
That was me.
That was you, okay.
When I went up the ladder, there was a door open right there, and that's the problem. Do you have a C4?
No, I use Semtex.
As you should play with us, by
somebody
the way.
somebody parachuting in over here.
I see it.
All right, people can see that scope.
Gas is closing in.
You're a coward, Azzy. This game is better than CS:GO.
The helicopter over there.
Right, we're in a safe zone.
Hostile helo.
Yeah, helicopter right here.
Mark the target.
Yep.
It almost dropped out of the sky. There's another helicopter.
Two helicopters.
Hostile helo.
Wonder if I can hit it. Far away is it?
Not gonna bother
Hostile
myself.
helo.
Far
One's
away.
doing like evasive actions right now.
I mean, it can see me aiming at it.
Enemy. I read you. I read you.
Most wanted is. Where is that? Oh, it's far away. I don't see anybody, which means we're probably about to die.
I think I see
UAV
somebody.
overhead.
I do see somebody. I think he saw me though.
Where?
Over in this direction.
Friendly UAV overhead.
I did not mean to do that, but that's probably a good idea.
Where was he? On the roof? On the ground?
I have no idea. Not on the roof, but I think he's. I want to say he's in the window.
I see him. I see him. This guy way
On
far
the move.
behind that building.
Oh, that way. Yeah,
There might be a guy in the
there's
window.
people-
I didn't
There's
see a guy
people.
in the
There's
window.
people over here.
People behind us. Yeah, I see that. Someone was coming from above. Don't see him yet.
I see him. He's over in the hangar.
Right, I'm going.
I saw his feet.
Yep.
I see him. He's right there.
On the move.
Got him.
Nice.
I feel bad for him.
Enemy UAV overhead.
My first attempted snipe of the game, and it was a success, so I feel pretty good.
I need to get my sniper set up.
I just picked up an epic, so I'm certainly not gonna avoid it, you know? This feels way better than Dota so far. I got 2 kills. And if I lose, I'm actually alright. If I do well,
Yeah, I
in
mean,
Warzone.
losing in this isn't nearly as bad as
Up,
losing
down.
in Dota.
I have a self-revive, but I'd rather you just open the door and go inside with me.
I can just lie here and get it.
Okay, I just don't want to get shot again when I get up, but alright. I don't know
Do you know
where it
where they
came
came
from.
from?
No idea. No idea. I know I was shot on the left side of the building, meaning it can't possibly be... hold on. It can't possibly be over here.
Making them never say die.
Okay. There's a piece of armor right here if you need it.
I'll probably end up grabbing it. Since they're not shooting you right now,
Marking new safe zone.
I assume that they're on the opposite side, not where I pinged. Like, you know, like that side.
Yeah.
Heading this
No, I get. There's somebody just climbed up the ladder. I didn't get the shot because they saw me too quickly.
So they went down?
Yeah.
Oh, they're inside.
Oh, what the?
That's unfortunate. I was about to pop out.
Okay, yeah.
Survive and you can redeploy.
My bad.
Win here and you return to the front line.
It's
Got a
because
sniper
it's
rifle?
because the FAL is overpowered right now.
You're up, soldier.
He's on the right side.
Torched him.
You gave him a proper sword.
Another good sniper kill. We're dropping in like the same place.
Yeah,
I'm dropping a loadout. It's right there. I know they can probably see us, but I don't really give a fuck.
I'm not dropping yet because I haven't won. I probably won't. I'm having a nothing game right now, to be honest. crossbow. Okay. Okay. I just lost. Let's see this.
Every rest on your shoulders. Finish the mission. You've got gas moving in. Enemy UAV overhead.
Okay.
Can't see me. So you could be part of this, Azzy, and you could make fun of him in person. Need money.
I love how he's making fun of people that he doesn't have the guts to play the game.
He's not even making fun of you. I was just saying.
No, I know.
He's a little making fun of you. But...
He's making fun of me. That's a making fun of me thing, and I don't blame him because I kind of deserve it.
I actually hit that truck, by the way, a little bit with splash damage. I saw the armor, but I didn't like get it, which is annoying. Is there a thing up here? That's that cash. Not cool.
Enemy UAV overhead.
So wait for the circle to close in. Halfway to saving you in furry. Halfway.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Stat.
You know, I wish it let me set up loadouts while I was waiting here.
Agree. I'm gonna get you in furry.
Got gas inbound. Safe zone relocated.
I think they're above you.
I don't even know if there's anybody here.
I definitely heard footsteps.
Please. Actually, I have no rockets. I need cash. Money. Monet. It's actually most wanted, but I'll die. Taking the scavenger, on the other hand, is acceptable. Is there a way inside here, like up from inside? There is. This place. Do I have time? Is the question. Oh, I got enough money. Well, almost. I just need to. Now I do.
Oh, now you do.
Okay. So.
Moving.
This one. That's
far
the
is it?
nearest one. I don't think I'd recommend going there. No, don't go there.
Don't ever tell me the odds, kid.
There's this one in Storage Town. That's inside the circle. There's a bunch of other ones outside the circle, like this one in front of Superstore, and then that one over there that I already have.
I might actually go to this one on the right. It depends how fast I'm going. The circle is pretty quick, but I have a gas mask, so.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Can I make it?
I think. Ooh, that's gonna be rough.
I think I might be okay. Remember, I have a gas mask, so I can touch the circle first.
Yes, I know.
No. Fuck.
No, you can't.
Fuck.
Well,
Circle's
you
going
got
pretty
this
quick.
one in Storage Town, and that's the only. Well, there's two buy stations in the circle, and that's one of them.
I'm running right for it, I'll be honest with you.
That actually is the only available one to you.
How close is that? Sounds really close.
That's very close. Probably on the other side of the wall.
Too far. It's close, but just a little too far. I'd rather not draw attention to myself if possible. The circle's moving. Before you say anything.
Not gonna say anything.
He saw me, so I had to shoot. He's cracked too.
25 left. Keep up the good work. Drop headed your way.
Oh no, they saw me in the gas. I had to try, dude. I had to try.
Yeah.
That one, but we'll
Oh, it's because the guy behind the rock. Okay. He wouldn't see me otherwise. That was a worthwhile play. I could have got that. That's a bad circle for me. We were very far away.
What's my sniper setup right now?
Ass.
Yeah. Well, I need to correct the optic because thermal or yeah, let's do 8 times thermal. Why not?
Why is this caught? Sometimes my headset like sneaks this wire behind part of my monitor and just gets stuck there. It's very annoying.
Max reserve ammo instead of 7-round mags. Sure, let's go with that.
Well, you know what? I didn't actually change the game title here. I changed what it was called, but I didn't change it to
Maybe I'll try that one out a little bit. CR56.
I was gonna say, why it's so hard for me to find the Call of Duty. Tell me when you're ready, by the way.
I'm ready. Sorry. I actually thought you had it going still.
I'm sharing a donut. Do I actually start working on the D&D campaign again, Furry?
Oh yeah.
I've been wicked lazy throughout the entire quarantine. I've been doing very little. But, I did enough work that we could easily do... Well, there's one thing I have to do to technically make it ready, but we could easily do probably 2 sessions, 3 sessions with no... Like, all pre-planned.
Oh, nice.
The problem is I just need to get, Jess's stuff ready more formally. Like, I know what I'm gonna do, but the difference between knowing what I'm gonna do and actually giving her something she can read and hold tangibly is a different concept.
Oh yeah.
I have to make her role satisfying enough.
Planting Claymore. Tossing a stun.
Just tell myself.
Playtime's over, mate. You're going to the war zone.
Other than that, I had some stuff. Every single room I've named, and I have a sheet of paper currently. It'll be multiple sheets, but a sheet of paper with every room name and then a description of what's inside for my take. Meaning any enemy, any loot you guys need.
Yeah.
So that's enough to at least get us going.
Battle Royale. Mark a drop point for your team. You'll lead them in.
I just hope it doesn't feel too plain. Normally when I do zombie campaigns, I have a lot more like free roam, meaning I can do what I want to do when I want to do it. But because it has to be predetermined with, because we're gonna have more like, I wouldn't say necessarily puzzles. There's definitely where'd you pick? Fuck you. Let's go like, I don't know, Promenade East or something.
Drop zone marked. Get
That
set.
sounds terrible.
All right, let's do it.
Ugh.
There are gonna be puzzles, but the
All right, where you landing?
I like that.
Yep.
Will I regret it? Maybe.
I'll land on top there with you.
I see you. I see you.
Eliminate all targets in
Just us.
KO.
You can have the ram if you want it. I already have one.
Don't know if I really do, but I'll take it.
Hey, so some guy dropped over in that region.
Moving.
Alright, I'm gonna drop over to this red
You want
house.
to get the scavenger?
How far away is it?
A couple buildings over. I'll go grab it.
Go grab it. Yeah, but the biggest thing is gonna be making sure it doesn't feel plain boring. You know, that's gonna be my struggle here.
Yeah. No, I get you.
I wanted to do a campaign, not that I want to do it now, but like going down the road, let's just like, you know, because whenever you want to have an idea, you really have to make sure that it's viable prior to even remotely thinking about planning it. You know what I mean? And I told Sean, I was like, Sean, you know what I want to do? And he's like, what? And I was like, I want to do like a Bloodborne campaign. He's like, what would that look like? And I was like, okay, fair question, fair question. I was like, hear me out. I was like, I want to do a campaign with, you know, you didn't play Bloodborne, right? You just watched it?
No, yeah. I get the basic concept.
Okay. I was like, it's the idea of basically some, you know, because Sean usually likes this twist. I was like, Eldritch horrors like exist, you know what I mean, and not in a confrontational way. Like I'm not expecting like that we're fighting the gods, unlike Bloodborne, which you kind of do. But that the people who are around and creatures are around have been, you know, morphed by that influence. You know, by the latent corruption that has been in that world, that Bloodborne-esque world. And of course, I'm taking my own creative liberties in that regard, because that's not exactly what Bloodborne thinks, but, you know, it's not relevant. The struggle in the campaign would be that if you want to be a hunter, much like the main character is the protagonist, you know, consuming the blood from other creatures will, of course, make you have to make, you know, sanity checks. Because I'm presuming that in this case the blood would of course be just like everything else in real life, addictive. Everybody's addicted to power, and Sean's not against that. So I thought that's where he would draw the line. He'd be like, no, I don't want to do the whole like, you know, untainted power thing. Well, the tainted power versus untainted power. I was like, all right, where did I lose you then? And he's just like, I really just don't like the idea of like it being combat focused. Like if we're gonna have like Eldritch horror, I want it to be more about the human nature of like sanity and stuff versus the physical manifestation. And I was like, okay, I understand, but I was like, the difference is mostly you know, semantics. Now I've had an argument similar where I care deeply, so I wasn't judging, but I lost him very quickly. He's like, yeah, I'm not looking for basically anything that you're trying to get at there. And I was like, all right, well, that fell flat on his face. First person I pitched the idea to, already a pretty hard no. All right, well, scrap that idea. It's not the idea of us killing monsters, basically, and, you know, there'd be NPCs and stuff, because they do exist in Bloodborne, obviously. All those games basically have somebody to talk to. You know, we could even do it more traditionally, meaning having quests and stuff, like having quest givers. But you know, you get power from drawing blood and stuff, much like you really do in Bloodborne for healing and all that. And then I thought I'd mix in some of the Vampire the Masquerade aspects with, like, almost frenzying, right? When you get weak and you don't have enough blood, well, nothing more would be... You know, there's nothing you like more than to get more blood for the sake of healing yourself, or using like the minor powers the Bloodborne has, just like Dark Souls has minor magic and stuff. Actually, that's pretty heavy magic, but not the point. I'm gonna come up that building.
There's not a whole lot here.
I meant I have a sniper. Well, it's that confetti killer, but
oh wait, I just realized this is the one we landed on.
it is.
Oops.
Thought you knew that. Oh, good.
I actually didn't.
That's funny.
I wasn't keeping track of where I was.
Oh well. We can keep moving then.
Yeah, where do we want to go?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't make decisions.
All right, I'm just gonna go to this building then.
Moving.
Sure. I cleared part of it. I think I cleared this part right here. I'm gonna go through it. And of course, I thought I could get Jess.
Did you break a window?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I could get Jess involved because I was like, "Ooh, Vampire the Masquerade-esque concepts," but I didn't even have the chance to pitch it to her, basically. So I was like, "Eh." You know, all it takes to get Jess into a campaign is a Vampire the Masquerade reference.
The Masquerade. Crappy system.
I like VTM, but I understand.
I don't like the mechanics. Like the whole mechanical aspect of it just does not agree with me.
It's certainly not perfect. I won't pretend that it is. I'm more about the world creation than I am mechanics.
Yeah, mechanics are a very large part of my D&D.
I just want things... when I look at mechanics, I don't mind if they're a little bit clunky or whatever, as long as the feel of them maintains. What will get me is when I feel like the goal of the mechanics is not being achieved. So what I mean by that is like... I had a small problem with our adaptation...
Ooh, there's people over in this building.
I'm off this way.
Okay. Tell me if they... I have a cluster strike, so if they get on top, I can probably cluster strike them.
There's people behind us somewhere too.
The pirate campaign we did, I felt like some of the balancing issues were notable, and it made it feel like what was supposed to happen wasn't what would happen as far as like your focus or your whatever. It wasn't bad, it was just like mild. That will bother me. So it's not like how clunky the mechanics feel, it's do they at least get the feel.
They're on the roof, on the roof. Yeah, right there.
Alright, I'm gonna cluster strike just because.
They're both
Yeah,
on the roof. Up. Yep.
I'll try
They
to
went
do-
to the next
Perfect.
roof though.
Send it.
Where are you gonna go, bitches?
Alright, now that'll make us the target.
I didn't get him with anything. Get him? I got him. He's on top.
Got movement.
Yeah, I saw.
Hit him again. Worried about his teammate on the bottom. He didn't like me hitting him a couple times. Helicopter?
Yep. I hit him at least once.
One's cracked. The guy in the roof right there is trying to get me. I hit him a couple times.
Enemy UAV overhead.
I'm gonna go down.
Alright, the guy on the roof I'm trying to watch. The guy down is cracked, like I said. There he is again.
Enemy UAV overhead.
No. What are you doing?
Okay, I got someone 23 meters
Safe zone.
on the side.
This guy's jumping. He's just trying to like bait me into shooting.
6 meters. Where the heck is he?
Honestly, I'm just gonna like hide for a second.
21 meters. Okay, he's moving in.
Hit him again.
I don't know where this person is. I think he's on the other. He might be coming up the other ladder. I'm coming back
This guy's
upstairs.
pissing me up. Pissing me off.
Enemy UAV overhead.
This guy's really pissing me off. I can't get him in furry.
Okay, he's definitely coming up the other staircase. Watch out, other guy on the roof shooting.
He should be.
I can see him.
He's just jumping up and down trying to get me to waste my ammo, I think. It's one of those things, you know. He's just playing a game. I think he's trying to also get me killed because he knows only I know where he is. Got him down.
Nice.
I'm rushing the building.
The other guy's not there, I'm pretty sure.
I agree. That's why I'm rushing the building.
Yep, I'll let you go for it. There's two people. There's two people right underneath me. There's someone following you in.
Okay.
I'm following him.
Cracked him.
I'm going up to the elevator.
Kill confirmed.
Dead.
Got him. Team wipe.
Good. There's probably two more people coming. No, they're not here in Heartbeat anymore.
That was the most intense stairway scene I've ever played, dude. 2 Semtex, he threw a C4. Yo, fuck this guy. That's C4. Not Heartbeat 2.
I got
I destroyed this team.
So, I should probably
It
give you
was?
this, actually.
Yo, asking, that was like legit an action movie.
So,
Yo,
do you want
Jaconius, what's up?
Hey, custom car 98 with a sniper scope. You want it?
Yeah, I'll take it.
I figure I wouldn't mind taking it, but I think it's better on you.
Thanks. Why? Because I got that guy on the roof?
Well, one, you deserve it because of that, but two, you're honestly probably a better shot with a sniper overall. There's a loadout drop 157 away.
I'm good with going for it. Fuck it.
I'm just trying to
Welcome,
see if I can get
Jaconius. I've missed you. You should clip that, Azzy. That action movie moment. That was absolute madness. Bonkers.
Alright, let me grab a sniper. Let's see how badly this goes. Heavy assault rifle. What is this? Oh, this is what I want. Good, good. Wait, what the heck's this?
Car coming, vehicle,
Watch out,
vehicle,
car,
vehicle.
yeah. I know.
It's going away. It's going away. Let it go. Let's turn it back. You can't get in this place because it's a fucking train station, unfortunately. I don't have any armor PS. I forgot to say that.
Oh, do you want me to drop you some?
Yeah. Shit, shit. Someone's coming.
There. Oh, up above. Got him? Or I
Yes, sir.
downed him at least? Shit.
If you could just live, that's super.
Listen up, soldier. Win here and you return to the front line. But if you lose,
Oh no, I cracked him, but I didn't get him.
soldier. Now go sort this fucker out.
I'm so sad. I should have had that.
Flash out.
Going back.
Nice. Yeah, I know. I'm in the same gulag as you are.
Lazy power abusers. To be fair, Azzy, you often ask for it.
Gas is closing. Get to the
And my only mod in this channel right now, unless I'm wrong, is Infuri, who's playing actively. Oh shit, there's people in Superstore. Don't go there.
Oh, I died. He got
Okay,
me with the throwing knife.
Well, definitely don't go there then.
Your team is KIA. It's up to you now.
It's up to me. It's late. For Falcon, it's like the middle of the morning, much like it is for you. Unlike you, he actually sleeps like he's supposed to. He's usually in bed when he's watching at the end, so he couldn't clip something anyway. Afro hasn't been here in a hot minute. We forgive her, though, because we love her. Getting you back.
Yay.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Thor, it's been a while.
It's
Not,
been a
not,
while.
not too long, but like a little bit.
Alright, where do I even want to go here?
Yeah, it's because Afro is best mod. I never actually let that poll go through, but Afro was won, by the way. I forgot to let the poll complete, so you guys didn't see the results, but we all know. It was obvious by who was voting.
Okay, so... Oh, scavenger. I'm just gonna drop with you, even though I'm outside the circle.
Gas is closing in.
Yeah, that's fine. Someone's been here, though. Careful.
Alright, I better get the scavenger.
So, Azzy, right now for contention of mod, it's you, Shadows, for some reason, which is funny because he's new, and Rocket. So, first person who gets the squiggles gets to be mod, and I'm probably going to turn off the option at that point. So, it's a race. Maybe I'll turn it back on if I get enough viewers. Like, if I get enough, like, average views, then I'll need another mod, but I won't. I'm glad Codies has been here quite a few times. I appreciate it. That's why raids are always beneficial for each other. You know, I've raided you before, you've raided me. You've probably raided me more than I've raided you, but all the same.
I'm gonna regret my greed.
I don't know how I feel. I don't know Shadows well enough to say if he'd be a good mod on my channel. He's relatively new, but as far as... Oh, yeah, Keepson's in contention, too. As far as Keepson, Rocket, and Azzy, I know you all well enough. I wouldn't really be upset about any of you being mod. Especially you, Azzy, because you'd be under the, you know, the light. Just threw a random bouncing buddy for no reason. I just realized no one's ever going to walk in this area again. But I actually really need that.
Next objective located.
Yo, Draconius has a full 10. Azzy and, sorry, Shadows and Keepson, and I think Rocket once have all been given a bunch of squiggles.
I'm not gonna make this scavenger, and I'm really sad about it.
Scratchers are so bad. Using the in-game thing with commands, meaning boss battle, heist, etc., are the best ways to get squiggles. They have a statistical probability to pay out more than anything else. If you play just those forever, you would eventually, by chance, like, you know, obviously chance plays a factor, but the statistics say that you would win overall.
Yo, I got it.
Nice.
Enemy UAV overhead.
I don't know where you are. Oh, you're way away from me. Shit.
I think someone's on Superstore, by the way, so don't walk up to it. I kind of ended up here on accident, and I forgot. And
I kind of have to go that way because there's somebody to my left.
Well, just be careful.
You know me. Always careful.
That doesn't sound true.
I got. You want me to pick up this bounty?
Nah, it's okay, I guess.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Oh, I have to type that. I forgot. Of course, I spelled it wrong. I did it the right way. No, I did it again. I did the exact same thing. I can't even spell. There we go. Jeez.
Okay, fine. All right, so
They're probably above us, since this is gonna be a problem. Here's my idea. I know it's a kind of close, right? Let's wait till the circle starts to move. They already know we're here, right? The guys on top. Once it starts to move, we run with the circle. That way they'll drop in front of us, right? And we shoot the fuck out of them. Okay?
I guess.
Because they have to jump. It's our only chance, because they'll shoot us from behind otherwise. Because it's not moving very fast either. So it's actually moving really slow. Okay. Okay.
It's almost on you.
Bounty target is down. Well done.
Onto his poach. Thanks for the money. I got 10 grand. I can buy us a loadout if we can get to this
Vendor mark.
buy station. Yeah, there you go, Draconius. Let's go. Small gains, but still. Hopefully you live. I think the chances of living for any given person in heist is like 60%. There's a... Yeah.
Of course. Yeah, that's not. There's somebody above on this building, I think.
No, I think they're actually from behind. That's how that usually works. It means they have to be over here.
They didn't call it. That wasn't called on us.
Wasn't?
No, that was very much went on a different building.
Oh, I don't care then. RPG? want to get risky?
I might as well take
Alright,
it.
don't walk with me to the thing. Let me die on my own if I'm gonna die.
Right.
You only as he lived?
Huh, nice.
Okay. Right in the open?
Loadout drop on the way.
Motherfucker, what do I even take?
Gas is
We'll
moving
take
in.
this.
New safe zone located.
Uh-oh. I'm getting shot at. Top of the other building. They're coming down at me.
We coming down from where?
Loadout drop inbound.
They're in the other building, the one I'm not in?
Other building. I don't know where they are now. One of them jumped. Oh Jesus! I just got shot at.
Launching rocket.
Where I just shot was where it was.
Somebody's coming. Unless that's you. I don't.
25 remaining.
Downed one.
Nice. Hi, I'm here.
His teammate.
Mark the target.
He's resing him. We gotta go. Oh, never mind. He already got it. Retract that. Teammate must have self-resed. Big no thank you. You should buy a UAV or something.
I can't.
So you can?
I can't.
Oh, because you gotta jump, right?
There's no way. Yeah, there's no way I can get to anything. I went up also. Oh shit.
We should get
Oh,
to the
shit.
safe zone.
Oh, jeez!
I'm taking heat.
I'm dead. Don't land on me. Don't land on me. I lit him up a little
Oh
bit.
shit! Someone else is shooting at me. Fuck. Oh shit! That's
Yeah, it's unfortunate that it's still not done.
Yeah.
25 still standing.
Yeah, pretty much everybody hates that last season. Understandably, it's pretty bad. It was not a good end.
Oh, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Yep. I only read the books. We'll only read the books.
And being in the perspective of a character you don't like is always miserable, even in games. You're just like, why am I this character again?
Heh.
What's up, Falcon? As he was calling you out earlier, not you in particular, but mods as a whole. So here's the thing, Azzy. I thought a few key things would happen that would make it alright. And that last episode was literally the big middle finger. It basically said, hey, how about we don't do those things and we do stuff that's entirely different? And it's like, yeah, you lost me, sorry. He was complaining about mod abuse too, Falcon. Nobody was even abusing him, and he still had to call it out. I agree, Jaconius. So, is anybody gonna consider it a spoiler and to give like a minute 20 for an answer if I talk about the ending of Game of Thrones?
I mean, obviously, the only thing to talk about is the amount of water bottles in season 8.
Oh.
Fuck.
If anybody doesn't want me to talk about it, you can go ahead and tell me. I'm pretty sure Draconius has seen it, Azzy's seen it. You aren't going to see it in Furry. Right, you didn't watch Game of Thrones.
Correct. I will not watch it.
Right. Okay. So, nobody said anything, assuming it's fine. Spoiler alert, if you have not finished Game of Thrones, somehow, we will be talking about some ending stuff. Funny enough, it's not even fresh in my mind anymore, so, like, I'm actually gonna have to, really think to remember. So here's some of my major issues. Daenerys, in the books, was portrayed differently, to my understanding. She was...
What's he getting on me for?
Oh,
no,
he
Azzy, they're not.
He doesn't like
no, Azzy, they're not. They're literally the books in movie form or in show form because those writers can't write. So they're just taking the books and making it into a show. I'm not watching that. That's a waste of my time.
It's just a different media form. If it's not your thing, it's not your thing.
I mean, no. Generally, I like shows. There's too many. I heard too many negative things about it, and it's just like if it's the exact same thing, I don't see any need to watch it again.
So
because the books were so good.
Here's my issue. Here's my issue with season 8 as a whole. All right, let's see. Number 1, how they handle the Night King is honestly hot garbage. It felt so sudden and so not meaningful. The characters that were there, the way it
Watch
happened.
out! You got 3 people near you. There's another 4 heading into this area.
I had to go far side for him. Sorry, I don't really have a choice. They're kind of pushing me outwards.
Well, okay then. I guess I'll go here.
I'll try to fight back to you once I have a weapon. I got a rocket launcher. I'll call that a weapon. There's one on the roof. Careful.
Target right here.
I just got downed. There's somebody else outside.
Down somebody.
Yeah. Okay, so it's not the exact same thing, and the things that I heard were different are things that I don't like. So, I'll pass.
Yeah, I'm not really on a first case for.
No, I'm talking mainly. I'm talking to Draconius from what he said in chat.
Yeah, that's why I was answering. I won't get on the first case for it because I understand the perspective. Shit.
All right, I'm coming back. Can I land on you, or is it?
I failed this fight. Okay, got it. All right, there's still one more guy around here. Fair warning.
All right, I'm just gonna have to land
At least
and go
one.
in that building.
I've done a pretty good job though of taking people out. I got 3 kills.
Planting Claymore.
Oh yeah, bitch! Team wipe.
Nice. I thought you were an
Land with a
enemy.
pistol. Land with a pistol. Kill him with a pistol. He has an automatic weapon.
So here are my issues with season 8 in general. How they handled the Night King, I thought was garbage. It's hot garbage. I don't understand why they thought that it needed to be like Arya and I don't know. It felt forced. It felt 100% forced. They wanted an actiony scene that made her character matter, but in all honesty, in the show, she doesn't. She's one of the least important characters, IMO, throughout the entire thing. I'm not saying her narrative doesn't have its own interest points, but man, did it feel irrelevant to the story as a whole. She literally does one productive thing I can think of after she leaves. And that's when she comes back and helps Sansa. And she kills Littlefinger. That's it. That's the one thing she does. Up until they force her into a scene where I really honestly think she had no right to be in. The fight between the Mountain and the Hound was garbage. I know in the books they take a more mystical approach to things. I actually like that less. I liked the show because they didn't do that. So, I hate that actually. Oh, I actually, sorry. That's not what I meant to do. I don't want that. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind that. I just didn't like that. The Night King scene. I also didn't like her and Brienne. Arya is strong. I am fine with her being a good fighter. Note for benefit, there's our armor satchel.
Alright, I'm coming.
Sorry, I'm marked as an enemy, but, armor satchels are the enemy to the state, so... Enemy right out to our left. There's no by shots. It's far. It's over there.
Got movement.
I'm fine with her being strong. She's still young, so she should still have development to go. Brienne proves that she's stronger than the Hound, at least at a certain point. I'm not saying she's always stronger, but stronger to a degree. Meaning Brienne of Tarth is one of the strongest characters currently, since Jaime is weaker at the time because of his injury. And Arya basically fights her on even footing, and it's like, I'm fine with Arya eventually being stronger, right? If we did a epilogue where Arya is now an adult and she beats Brienne, I wouldn't care. I couldn't care less. But there is something to be said for, like, experience and actually size. Arya's like a 13-year-old girl. Like, there is something to be said for strength. I know she has technique. I get it. She trained with one of the best swords people in the entire universe. I still don't like it. So basically everything they did with Arya in the last season bothered me personally. But I could overlook it. Besides the Night King thing. I can overlook it.
There's a fight going on over there. Oh, I see somebody. Oh, he blew behind the building. There's another one.
I minded that too. Jaime Lannister's character development was going to make him one of the best characters of the entire show. Along with Tyrion, who's my actual favorite. He was going to have character development that felt meaningful. We can go fight. It's fine. It was going to feel meaningful. He was going to be redeemed. We found out more about his past and why he feels so poorly in general about himself and his self-image. Alright, one team just got team wiped, I think.
In the books, Jaime had amazing character development, and he was actually my favorite character. That's a team wipe.
I got every bullet except the last one you took.
No, I hit him 5 times. Thank you very much.
I hit him a lot, but okay, I believe you. I believe you. There's a damnation. I'll actually take that. Wait, what is this thing? What's damnation? It says it's a thermal. Oh, it's sniper. Okay. I thought it said something else. To be honest with you. Cool. He had great character development, and they threw it away when he went back to be with his main hoe as there's a sniper here.
I mean, that's actually. Oh god, other side. There's people there. I'm down. I'm dead.
How many are there? 1 or 2?
I don't know. I didn't see. I only saw one shooting at me, but I don't. That means there's 2, right?
Yep.
And yeah, honestly, that's you can call me stupid for it. Maybe I am, but what they did to Jaime's character in the show actually made that was the main reason I said I'm not watching the show, because of how much I love Jaime in the books and how much they wrecked him in the show. I
liked him up until the later seasons. He starts to take a positive turn and then he takes a negative. I killed him, by the way, so
but that's the thing. That was one of my favorite. That was one of my favorite moments in the book, was when he said, you can go fuck that bitch," and since that didn't happen in the show, that I can't watch it, like, because I like that moment so much.
And I'm not Draconius. I can give a little bit of a hand wave, but remember, that's fair. I guess Brienne doesn't have a lot of experience against it that we know of, right? But she should. She's been a knight for a long time. She should have fought vagabonds, scoundrels, rogues, if you will.
There's a buy station here, but there's also a most wanted right next to it.
Sucks. I'm gonna grab my loadout real quick if you don't mind.
Yep. That's why I pinged it for you.
Yeah. And thank you, Falcon. I didn't like what they did to Jaime's character at the end. It felt like they killed all the potential he had to develop. They threw it backwards. I didn't like everything they did with Arya in general. I didn't like the fact that they chose the wrong person to be king. Straight. Just being honest. I am not saying Jon Snow is perfect. He is certainly not. But he is proven to be one of the best candidates for ruling. He's humble. He's kind. He listens. He's at this point wizened. And he's one of the only people who can keep priorities straight when it comes to, like, serious issues. He also has no allegiances. He kind of has allegiance to House Stark, but that's besides the point. And they decided, nah, we'll choose a kid who, granted, super wise kid because of, you know, supernatural powers, right? I understand that. However, it's best to have someone like that in the role of an advisor. You have someone charismatic as the leader, while an advisor sits behind them and tells them, you know, the more important things they need to know. You translate information. That's how people rule in real life, too.
I'm dropping on that loadout.
Okay. Understandable, Draconius. I still just have a small issue
Oh
with
god,
it in theory.
somebody's on the loadout. Fuck.
Coming.
I'm dead. Fucking hell, why?
I almost have enough to get you
There's
back.
2 teams. 2 fucking teams, dude.
I almost have enough to get you back again.
Oh no, wait, not 2 teams. It was okay. That makes you feel a little better. It was just 1 team.
Oh.
God, I'm so pissed. What the hell are the chances that their loadout would be right there?
89%. Is that what the answer you were looking for?
You know, you have enough to get me back.
Oh, I do? Oh shit, I think I thought about it, didn't I? Holy shit. Probably gonna die getting you back, but I'm okay.
Just watch out, because there is
Yeah,
that
they're
team
coming this
coming
way.
from coming from the thing.
Okay, so, but he should. Whether he has guilt or not, he did the right thing.
Vehicle.
Got you.
That's not necessarily good. Where should I be dropping here?
Anywhere but directly on me, my friend. Anywhere.
You know what? I'm gonna try the loadout drop again. They
Oh,
can't still
gosh.
be there.
Of course they can. I can't believe I'm alive.
Oh shit, there's people over there.
I lived, dude. I'm alive. Let's go. At least for now. Oh shit. I have loadout, but I don't care. Shit, they're there. I gotta get out of this place. This is fucking
That's
nuts.
fine. I am currently alive.
I'm going
Which is
here,
good.
Inferi. Oops, sorry. Here.
Disregard that.
Stop pinging that. Stop pinging the damn car.
Move. Never mind.
All right, I'll come there. I'll come over there as well. Ooh, please let me be able to loot this. Oh, there's so much loot. Oh yes.
Get in when you're ready.
Hi. How you doing? What is this? This is a box. Oh, that's money. Custom AX50. I'll take that.
Come on. So that was a big problem I had, because I would much rather Jon Snow rule regrettably, right? He wouldn't want to rule, he would think he was a bad ruler, and that would make him a good ruler, because he'd be hypercritical of his own decisions, he would always want to take other people's input into mind, that makes him good. They didn't have very much lead up at all for the Thread Raven. I know calling him that is misleading, because he actually is a character.
Shit, I'm getting shot.
Oh god damn it! Ah,
Where?
behind me. I hate my life. He's right there. There's another one, 2 and furry.
Yeah, I know. He already got a few shots on me.
They just didn't have enough lead up for it. I felt. I have a throwing knife matchup.
You're up, soldier. Let's go sort this fucker out.
Nice. He really should have killed you when you were running.
Yeah. I think he was trying to line up a shot, and I just threw it quick because I didn't care. I don't need to line up a shot, Les. I have 6 kills in furry. Let's go.
I only have 3.
Oh, I'm so mad. There's already people here.
Welcome to my life.
So I thought there wasn't any lead up for that. I didn't like the fact that they implied time travel of any kind. They did, going backwards. This is going backwards, but still, with Holdor. I don't like that in the story. But funny enough, they didn't even double down. They never talked about it again. And it was like, wait, what? Like, you're gonna introduce this concept that's already gonna piss people off or make people think it's cool, because that happens in both directions, and then you're not gonna talk about it? I thought that was kind of peculiar. I didn't like that either. I also... Oh, yeah, I didn't even get into this. So, the mountain. I know that the show and the books in general have a more supernatural approach, and so making the mountain literally unkillable by any standard means, is not something that's averse to the books. I'm not pretending that it is. But the show was very low supernatural. The only supernatural they had was like rituals that did things that produced what you'd call a permanent effect, but the permanent effect could be changed, meaning like you can bring someone back to life, but they can die again. You know what I mean? They're not invulnerable or something. Or you can create a shadow creature, but the shadow creature can be dissipated, I believe. Right. So he's brought back as like a zombie. I'm fine with him coming back through the bioengineering of the guy whose name I'll never remember.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Oh,
There's somebody right over there.
I don't care.
Somebody just parachuted in, actually.
Yeah, I heard.
Taking that good fire.
I'm actually going to use that to just leave. So I'm fine with him coming back, right? He should be dead. Lethal poison hit him. He was wounded on top of that. He should be dead, but they brought him back. I'm okay with that. He could even be stronger. I'm even fine with him being resistant to pain, right? Because he was brought back through basically bioengineering. So he's not really all there. So I'm fine with the mental difference, right? He's basically has no affect. He doesn't get damaged. Stuff like that. I'm not okay with him being literally immune to being stabbed all over the place. He gets brutalized in ways that would be lethal 10 times over and doesn't die. And it's like, come on now. Like, well, we can just make super soldiers like this? Why don't we just make a bunch of them? Because that means literally the Mountain is the uncontested best fighter in the series because he can't die. So he can just be stabbed in the heart, in the chest. You know, he can have parts of him cut off. It doesn't matter. He just lives anyway. So, like, why not just make more of them? If they fail, they fail. That's fine. Just keep trying. So I didn't like that either. Also, the Hound dies with him, which was also upsetting. You know, all this stuff. You know, Jamie dying with his bitch for no reason. Tyrion doesn't get a good resolution, IMO. I know he's happy with how things turned out in the long run, even though it's terrible how it got to that point. But I felt like Tyrion needed something that he could do personally that was more relevant. It felt almost like at the end that Tyrion was powerless for a large part of things, and it made it feel like his character, who had been built up to be like one of the only reasonable peoples, along with the Spider Varys, that could actually do something. Yeah, I'm also mad going backwards, way backwards. I won't remember his name on the spot. The Kingsguard who they kill in the show and they don't kill in the books. When he goes to work for Daenerys, he quits the Kingsguards and goes to work for Daenerys instead. They don't kill him in the books, and they do kill him in the show, and that irks me. Where is he? Did he leave? Yeah, he actually left. Yeah, Barristan. Thank you, Sir Barristan. And it made me very upset because he's a really good character, and they kill him in a rather... I don't want to say meaningless. There's definitely meaning to the scene. But what felt like a shitty death. He dies to basically common assassins. More or less. And he's one of the most skilled fighters in the entire series. It is like... So my understanding is people who've read the book have talked to me about this. Sean is who I'm referring to in particular, in Furry. He is hands down one of the best fighters alive at that time. It's Jaime Lannister prior to getting hurt. Him. It's probably Jaime Lannister first, but him in the Mountain. There might be one I'm forgetting, but it's basically them. Oh, the guy who taught Arya too, whose name I'll never remember either, but the guy who taught Arya at the beginning of the series. You know, those are some of the best fighters at that time. And he dies to, like, petty assassins. And it's like, no. You can't just do that. You can do that, but you shouldn't do that. His death should be more meaningful. Like, for example, I would be more happy if, I don't know, like, there was a blade about to hit Daenerys, and he jumped in the way on purpose and took it. and, like, I don't know, went down in a blaze of glory or something. It felt almost shitty when he died. The Hound's strong too, but he's weaker than the Mountain in theory. It's hard to say if he would have beaten the Mountain if the Mountain was not a zombie anymore. That's questionable. That's fair. I'll give you that. Jorah, I don't think Jorah is supposed to be on their level. He's very powerful, though. I think he's considered a B-lister. Like, if you put A as the top, he's B. So he's very powerful, but he's not the same. Like, Jorah would not stand up to the Mountain or Jaime at all. Jaime is supposed to be the uncontested best at that time. Obviously, going backwards in time, the guy who... Ned Stark killed... Not in a straight duel, obviously. It didn't work out that way. But he killed the strongest person who's supposed to have ever been known to exist even remotely near this time. But since he's dead prior to the series, that doesn't count. So we'll just sidestep that. Jaime is supposed to be the strongest person prior to getting hurt. So yes, Braun is a strategic fighter. And because of that, I don't have enough money to rescue, sorry.
That's fine.
Because of being a strategic fighter, he does win some duels he's not supposed to. But I'm going to be clear about that. If he were to fight someone who's actually, like, top tier, I'll even include Brienne as being, like, the bottom of A, because she's supposed to be really strong, too. If he were to fight Brienne, the Hound, the Mountain, Jaime prior to being injured, he would lose...
You got somebody 2 airplanes ahead.
Okay. He would lose definitively. Definitively. Because they wouldn't fall for those sorts of strategies. Like, their movements, and it's like real combat, their movements would be smoother, and, he saw me out of the plane. I was actually trying to walk over the rocks, by the way. That's why I stood up a couple times. I thought I could walk over them because it's a small little rock. And my character refused until right at the end there. Big rip. Oh, Oberyn's strong, too. I don't know where to place him because we only ever see him fight once. Which he loses. But he obviously almost wins. So it's almost a draw. It should be a draw. They should both die. In theory, right? Yeah, he refused. He told Tyrion he wouldn't do it. And remember that Jaime, nobody believes the Mountain is stronger than Jaime at the beginning of the series. That's why, so imagine, before Tyrion is an outcast, he's always an outcast of the family, but before he's actually hated by, like, Tywin himself, he always calls Jaime to help him, not the Mountain. And the Mountain is on dispenser for his family. He could call him to make duels for his life if that was needed. I know Jaime's his brother, Jaime loves him, but he could absolutely make a request to have the Mountain come and fight for his life when he's over in, I never remember the name of the place again. It's the side Stark family, where he almost gets executed and Bronn saves him. If he believed the Mountain was stronger, he would have asked for the Mountain instead of Jaime. Yes, I believe so, Draconius. So, yeah, basically, yes. Fuck that Sky Cell. So it should be noted that Jaime should be able to take the Mountain, but the Mountain should probably be number 2. It's hard to say because we don't get a lot of exposition. On obviously, Oberyn might have been able to kill the Mountain without getting hurt if he wasn't blinded by vengeance. I think he probably would have, and it's probably more a testament to the fact that the Mountain has never fought somebody like that before. He fights mostly like regular sword fighters. He doesn't fight people who have basically what are pole arms. It's like a weird pole arm. It's basically a pole arm because it's bladed.
Got your 6.
Oh, I do. That's true. So, I will note something about Ned Stark, though. Ned Stark, it's unclear how strong he really is. Everybody believes he's one of the best. I would put him as a B-lister, and here's why. The reason everybody thinks Ned Stark is strong in the show / books is because of the story of the man he killed. So everybody's perception of Ned Stark is that he's powerful because he killed the most powerful person that anybody knew. But he didn't kill him. He didn't cheat on purpose, but somebody else stabbed him from behind before Ned killed him. Meaning that Ned's legacy is overblown by every single person who talks about him, so you can't take their perspectives at face value. I believe he's a solid upper B or lower A. He's definitely powerful because he was a warrior and he did kill people. Noted by Robert Baratheon, points it out himself. Yeah, we'll do decision. Is it a spear? Okay, it might be. It looks a little bit different. I haven't seen it in a while, so I believe you that it's a spear. As a side note, going off Oberyn, though. So Ned's probably a solid B+, maybe an A-. But he's definitely not on the same level. Jaime would have won. Like, I don't think he thought he was going to beat Jaime. I think he's not willing to back down. He has too much honor, so he's not going to, like, be like, oh, I'm afraid of you, Jaime. I won't fight. He's going to fight. He might lose, but he'll do it. And that's something that can be respected. Ned is one of the most respectable guys in the entire series. Whether he won or lose didn't even matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because he's dead.
It doesn't matter because he did lose, but getting stabbed from behind. But Jaime was pissed too. Jaime was very excited to test out his skills. Just what Jaime would have needed, by the way. If sorry, I was just looking around. If Jaime had fought Ned, I believe he would have won, and then Jaime would have gotten a big arrogance boost that probably would have stood in the way of him coming to his humility later in the book. Books, show, whatever.
Both thrown inside now.
Looting what I can while I can, baby.
What's that?
I just want some armor, PS.
I could definitely use some armor.
The window you can never get through. Someone's here. Two people
Yeah,
right here.
I agree with that.
One's down, dude.
This way.
Down there?
Rise and shine, man.
Where?
He's cracked. Right here.
Got
Thank
him.
you.
Team
I,
wipe.
I cracked him too, so I just needed you to come in and like.
Give him the old pincer movement.
Yeah, he was doomed. I might have even won the battle with both of them. You're 3 threat, by the way.
Oh, that's good.
So I won you.
Yeah, appreciate it. Wait, why do I have two MP7s? I don't like that. I mean, so they're in here somewhere.
No, they're probably outside. Hey, if we can get up to the roof again, I have a recon drone.
They're over here. They're over here. I see them.
Hang on. Hang on.
I can't. I had to get away from them. Right here. Damn it! Fucking door, dude. Nice.
Strong as an ox.
Thank you.
There's another one, by
The
the
other
way.
one. Yeah, I know the other one's still around. I don't have any extra armor.
I have 3 for you, but I really have to watch
That's
out.
fine.
for-
I'll grab.
yeah, I'd
grab
rather
some.
watch out for your would-be
I
assailant.
got two. I got 2 in here, anyways. The helicopter?
I loved the inconsistency, as well. What the was that? They blew
That was a helicopter. That's the other person. He's 10 meters away up on the roof.
Okay. We can handle that. They're about to lose their contract.
Team wipe.
so-
I don't know what team wiped, but I just got a team wipe.
Alright, your threat's gone.
Lost the enemy.
All right. So he's dead.
Here's what I'm
I
gonna do.
don't know. What?
Here's what I'm gonna do.
I got somebody on heartbeat 25 meters away. 27. Oh shit! He's up on the roof.
Okay. I'm gonna see how many are on the roof because I can check with my little drone.
I can only.
Someone's dropping.
It's 1, and then his teammate came back. I think.
Got him. Meaning I see him.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's down below too. Someone's inside
Oh,
the building as
fuck.
we speak.
Fuck. That's
Got
not
him. Marked him. Marked him. I gotta stop this. I lit him up.
good. Oh damn it! I cracked him, but I died. I had no. If I had one piece of armor, I would have killed him. I'm so sad right now.
Guess what the advantage is? I'm the one going upstairs. For sure, Tyrion should have a bunch of STDs. A lot of people should, to be fair. Jon Snow, too.
Oh, God. I'm coming back.
Come on the roof if you want a little bit of safety.
Yeah, much of a choice, no matter.
I hear them searching, probably for me. Can you just watch the ladder a little bit? I see one.
I mean, I could really use weapons, but
They know I'm up here now?
Alright. Contraband. Dude, should I pick this up?
We're not going to be able to leave anytime soon, probably.
There's two people, there's two of them. I cracked one. There we go, team wipe.
I told you to watch the damn ladder!
I did!
Help me.
Dude, there were
Help me.
two of them. I was
Help
trying
me.
to shoot them.
Help me, I'm down. I'm down. Stop looting.
Oh, you're down. Sorry, sorry.
Relocating.
There you go.
Jesus Christ. Fuck these guys.
I was shooting at him, man. That's why I called him.
Now stand up and fight.
You can loot the thing freely now if you want to.
Loot the what?
The game. What is this? Again, I forgot.
Contraband.
Let's do it. Now that they're dead. Let's do it.
370 meters.
We got the Lonely Lagoon blueprint.
We already have that, unfortunately.
I thought I couldn't give you ones you already had.
I guess I know it can because I remember getting it.
They're up in that building ahead, which is actually where our contraband is, basically.
Yep. So we're gonna have to kill some bitches.
I mean, I don't know. Mages are kind of cool. Would have been cool to see some of them, for sure.
No,
Also,
magic
like-
was not. Magic really wasn't something that was a heavy thing. It was like supernatural mysticism type stuff, sure, but not magic.
You think we're gonna die when we do this?
If we do it without clearing out anybody, oh yeah.
I see him. There.
Mark the target.
Yeah, I see him. Are we going up the building?
I think we should try to get him from here. I'm not sure though. Screw it. Hold on.
I mean, just I have an FAL and an MP7.
I have
No
an FAL.
sights.
Thing is, we know they're there.
Hey,
and they
he
don't-
sees you. He sees you. He sees me too.
All I need to do is hold them back long enough. I'll do it. Don't worry. Oh gosh, on the other side. Other side.
The helicopter's blocking me.
Lol. Cracked him.
Like there's somebody over here too.
Got it.
Good.
Get out.
Alright, I'm gonna try.
Going for the loadout myself.
Yep. Getting shot. I need to armor.
Azzy, we can teach you D&D, my friend.
All cargo deposited. Exfil is RTB. Gas is moving.
Well, remember, the mages should be dying down now because most magic tricks are in the universe somewhat controlled by dragons. So when the dragons, when one of them dies, for example, their magic starts to turn down again. That's one of the problems with a universe that has that sort of rule in it. Not a huge fan.
Alright, crossbow, let's do this.
It's not even remotely that hard, Azzy. I play it with a bunch of people. There's easy ways to mess it up, meaning like to not have fun. But you don't mess it up as in can't do it. You mess it up as in it's not a good experience. That's the difference. I mean, honestly, Azzy, we could play with you. We could play D&D with you in theory. We just have to have some sort of service such as tabletop simulator so that we can have a shared board to actually see what's going on, and somebody who's willing to do the work of setting up the board itself. Because like I have no problem setting up a campaign via online. I don't really care. I do mind putting the figures down and stuff. That's kind of annoying. I have an armor box. I'm using it.
That would be very useful.
I have 2 of 8, so... I can't believe we lived.
I know, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can do it whatever you want. Well, yeah, the thing is, Azzy, is that if you want to play Dungeons & Dragons with people, you can't do the actual, like, game, like a video game, meaning, like... they have Dungeons & Dragons games that are online. That's different, because the campaign is controlled by the DM, and there's rules.
Because IRL is just flat out better, Azzy?
Yeah, IRL is better, but I'm actually okay with doing it via Tabletop Simulator, because we can actually have our webcams and stuff hooked up via that, versus an actual, like, game that's made to be played.
Yeah, that's not for me.
IRL is optimal, Azzy, honestly. You have to have camaraderie and being able to see each other around like a table or something. There's just something to the experience that's very desirable, to be honest.
Yeah, I do not want to play it over voice chat. That's just, it's not.
You do play by post, or at least you did. So I don't want to hear from you.
No, I do not. That is a very different thing. There's no rolling or any of the type involved. There's no mechanical systems.
Okay, fair.
It's not the same thing.
Fair. This is a bathroom. I'm gonna hide. Oh, it's not a bathroom. I was wrong. It's just a door outside. I think D&D is better with face-to-face, but to be honest with you, Falcon, you could always just have a system that allows, like, a... So, using Discord, like, as was said before, you can do face chat on Discord right now. They allow it, much like you could with other sorts of FaceTime things that have always existed. So you can actually see each other's faces. It's as good as you're going to get without actually literally being IRL, because you would see each other. People do need to have cameras, though, and are willing to use them. That's the real crux of that. So
Somebody just parachuted out.
Where?
Over this... okay, the ping didn't go off. Over this way.
Yeah, webcams
I got somebody...
I'm getting shot from behind us. Over there. I pinged it. Successfully pinged it.
Yep, I know.
I'm armoring up.
Same. I see ya. I see somebody. Over here? Oh, what? No.
I see him. They have a riot shields. Hey, I have an idea. I'm putting a C4 on the hill for when they push the hill. Oh, they're already pushing on the other side. They're already pushing far side. I have to hit the house.
How the hell did that not hit him? I'm actually kind of frustrated. That's entirely on me. I'm sorry.
It's fine. They just got us. They had a good angle on us. Oh, I have Gulag. Forgot. Yeah, you have to have webcams because you have to make sure people are paying attention, but also there's something about the D&D experience that's better with webcams versus, like, not seeing their face. You can see people's reactions to things, because, like, if I want to talk for a character, you should still be looking at me. I'm the character right now. Granted, I look like me, not the character you're supposed to see, but hearing my voice when I'm speaking and, like, looking at me, it has focus. You're focusing on the character that I'm supposed to be, because when I look over at Infuri on the table, yeah, I see what he looks like in real life. You know, I see him. But if he's playing a, I don't know, I'm gonna say something he would never play. You know, a orc barbarian with a stutter.
Yo,
I'm seeing that.
Did you just miss? All right, there you go. Thank you. I was gonna say if you'd failed because of that first missed shot.
Well, I was gonna. He hit me too, by the way.
I know he did.
He did not.
You got
kill.
lucky as shit.
I should be seeing what Infuri is supposed to be playing and not Infuri himself.
Are you getting shot at?
I don't know. I thought I was for a second too.
Well, this has already been looted, so you're screwed.
Yeah, online has flexibility for sure, but people need to actually be there. So here's the problem. It's easier for someone who's not supposed to be there in person to be like, oh, guys, I can't because of either tech problems or, oh, I just don't have time, whatever.
Should have stuck with the pistol. You're doing better with it.
Yeah, that's because he was standing still, though.
I know. All right, that's gonna be all for me, I think.
All right. So here's the thing, Azzy. And I'm gonna keep playing. I actually was gonna stop, but I'm gonna keep playing on purpose so I can talk more about Dungeons and Dragons. So you can be whatever you want, but generally when you play D&D, you have to have rules. And those rules are various, and obviously everybody has different views on how many rules you should have, what should you restrict. Everyone's different. So every group has different rules in order to create an optimal experience. An example would be, can you do anything? Of course you can. However, there's going to be certain restrictions, and they're not based on, like sense. I don't care if you do something random, crazy, whatever the case may be. But if you're following a story, a narrative, I'm not going to make every quest giver a level 20 paladin so that you can't kill them. If you want to kill the quest giver on purpose, if it was one time, maybe I'd let it slide, right? Maybe there was a good reason, whatever the case may be. But if you make a habit of killing quest givers on purpose so that I can't give you the plot, that's unacceptable. There has to be rules against that. Now, the DM was going to be the one who makes those rules. They're going to be like, no, I can't play a campaign like this. This is unmanageable. And over time, when you play with a group, you learn more and more about what is or isn't okay for a good cooperative experience. Example, you can be a dwarf who wants to be an exhibitionist. However, if you take actions that actively harm the party on a regular basis, such as getting the guards called on the party because you're naked when places where you shouldn't be naked, at some point that becomes destructive to the situation, because basically every session is about you. Every session is you cause a problem and we have to fix your problem, versus being able to explore issues about other characters. And of course, there will be consequences. And I'm not going to be the guy who says, I don't like what you're doing, I'll kill you so that you can't do it anymore. That's not a good way to handle that. The best way is to have an understanding with the player. You can be naked sometimes. I don't even mind if it's a character flaw of some sort, like even to your own detriment. Sometimes you can't help yourself. But if you're doing it so regularly that, like, literally everything is about you, then there's a problem with what you're doing. The game is not called, and I'm not saying you would do this, but this is not called Azzy's Quest. It is, you know, whatever the name of the actual campaign is, which has a plot and a purpose. So that's usually where most of the rules come into. You can't be infringing on other people's abilities to act, so you can't, like, mind control party members for funsies. That's not fair. They should be able to have free action just like you should be able to have free action. So that's a big factor. You know, and there's other rules as far as conduct is concerned. We can't really be interrupting each other. That's rude. It's not helpful, you know, etc. And there's a lot of things that come into play when you go into that. And that's the difficult part of D&D. It's figuring out what's okay and what's not okay as far as a social situation. That's stuff you learn as time goes on.
Be advised, gas is closing in. Proceed to the safe zone.
So basically in D&D, I'll explain standard D&D. Working on an online thing is a little differently, but you just have to substitute electronic for... Not really. Usually when I play campaigns, my players are not very map focused. Oftentimes I don't have a direct map. So that's something you usually can evolve to with enough practice, but it's not usually good for new players. When I play D&D, if you want to go to a new city, I can tell you the city is 5 days away, right? A 5-day horse travel. That's as much as you need to know. You don't really need to know what direction it is if you already know where the city is. It's different if you don't. If I didn't want you to know where the city was and you're not familiar with the area, and I told you if you don't know, you have to ask for directions. Okay, now a map might be really important, or whatever. The absence of one is really important because you don't know where you're going. But in general, if you really want to go somewhere as far as a world map's concerned, I don't need to tell you. I can tell you what sorts of places are around, and then you can ask me how far away, and we travel. Sort of like you can skip the minutia of it. But standard, you'd have a map for everything. There's a world map. Each scene you enter is what I would call it. There's not really a standard word for it, but each scene you enter, could have just used the Q button, but whatever, has a map. So if you entered the town, you know, the town of Jasonlands, you know, that has its own map. The buildings that are inside of it, the structures, and then it's small, right? So it's supposed to be, imagine grid paper. Have you ever used grid paper of any variety? Because if you have, a perfect example is that a small square of grid paper, like the small, like, there, I'm trying to show you, like this big. Agree, Draconius. I usually don't, when I play with my standard group, do much as far as the explanations, because I just do explanations. But, yeah, lol. So each square of grid paper represents a 5-foot square. So it's 5 by 5 by 5 by 5. So that should be your scale. Anything on the map should be scaled to that. So if something is 10 feet long, it takes up 2 squares. And players take up 1 square, and that's why it's built like that. A standard medium creature, which is a human, takes up 1 square. And so that's the scale of the map, and you figure it out as you go out from there. As far as doing it online, that's why you need a shared software, if that's what you were going to do. That's why Tabletop Simulator is kind of popular for people playing D&D. I can create a map that's 3-dimensional on Tabletop Simulator, and you guys can view the map. And you can actually interact in any way I deem appropriate. So I can have you be able to move your characters, but I can keep Fog of War so you can't see or move past barriers I create. It depends on the system. I use 3.5 standard. I like 3.5. I've always been a fan. 4 was kind of a cluster from what I understand, so I never adopted it. 5 has benefits, and some of the things from 5 I've actually been considering adopting. Because 5 does have some really good mechanics, but it also lacks in others, so it depends what system you play in. Yes, in the standard system, they're sorted by levels. Basically, what it is there's a complicated grid. I'm not gonna get into specifics, but there's a complicated grid for every kind of ability you have. How good you are at hitting, your saves for resisting status effects, basically, including poisons and stuff. You know, how much health your character has, all that stuff, and how it interacts with your stats. Spells are a result of your direct level. As you level, basically every 2 levels, you get a new level of spell. And you have X amount of spells per level based on stats and your character and all that. So basically, in standard 3.5 D&D, their spell levels go from 0 to 9. There are technically 10th level spells. That's what people call them by, you know, just the usefulness term. I didn't realize someone took the helicopter. That's funny. Or there isn't one. Isn't that what it is? I forget. Oh, crap. It's faster than I thought it would be. So, basically, 0th level spells are considered, they're called cantrips. They're useless. They're spells that have an effect, but they're not usually great. No. Not at all. Not really. Basically, every other spell besides 9th get better as you go. 9th level spells are considered game-breaking. Having access to 9th level magic, in 3.5 anyway, makes a character broken compared to other characters. So there's a tier list for how effective characters are, because people, of course, look at the statistics for the types of characters and figure it out. It's been out for so long. And basically, any class that has access to 9th level spells is infinitely better than any other class. So, of course, the balancing will need to be done to fix that. And you can do that as a DM. You can edit rules and stuff, no problem. But standard 9th level spells are just broken. An example of a spell that's not broken, but will give you the idea of what 9th level magic can do. Well, magic in general, actually. There's a lot of spells in magic that do death effects. Very common. They're called Saver Dies. It's a class of spell, basically. Basically, if you cast a spell, they get a save, which means you target a relevant stat based on the spell itself. It always has a decision inside of itself. You don't get to choose. And they roll a die. They add X amount based on their character and all that nonsense. If they succeed, nothing happens. Usually. Sometimes they take a little damage, but usually not. Thinking Disintegrate, for example. If they fail, they die instantly. That's it, regardless of health. A perfect example of what would kill you instantly is like, you know, Finger of Death. It will just kill you. The end. That's a perfect example. Spells get better based on the higher levels. They're more effective. So a bad spell for Save or Die is Phantasmal Killer. And the reason why is you get 2 saves. If you succeed on either, you don't die. So it's kind of weak because you need to fail 2 saves in order for Phantasmal Killer to kill you. An example of a good Save or Die. Implosion. It's a level 9 spell. And now let's just be clear about one thing. D&D is a lot about economy. It's how many spells you have per day and how you can use them effectively. Implosion is one of the most economical spells in the game. It's not even the best. It's just very economical. It is a save or die on a target. If they fail, they die. It's a hard save to make because being 9th level magic actually makes the save higher. Just is how it is. And on top of that, I haven't seen like anybody. On top of that fact, I think I'm going to die here. Oh, shoot. The circle's too fast. Get away from me. Leave me alone. It's efficient because after your first round, you can then target somebody else and try again. And if you're successful, you can try again the next round, the next round, the next round. And this is one spell. It will just let you keep doing it. Do I make it, guys? Probably not. Well, this is the most exciting single-player game I've played in a while. Gulag time. But so that's like an efficient spell because you can kill a whole party one round at a time with one spell, so you'd only expend one spell slot because you only have so many a day. An example of an actual ridiculous spell is Miracle. Miracle is potentially... I have not. I didn't mean to throw that right then. That worked out. Gotta punch him to death. So Miracle is probably the best spell in the game. Oh, okay. Craziness. Miracle is probably the best 9th level spell in the game. It basically does what you want. You describe what kind of effect you go for, and your god, because Miracle is a divine spell, so assumably it's a god or some other divine power, just kind of does it. There are restrictions on how strong it can be, because you could get denied if you request too much, but a literal description they give of Miracle is, you can turn the tide of war by resurrecting every fallen warrior that has died thus far in the battle, and that means like in the thousands, back to fight again. That's one spell. The cost is a cost experience, so experience is obviously valuable because everybody wants to level up, but for the cost of a little bit of experience, basically, you can literally just win a war. A whole war. Like, large-scale war. And to me, that's crazy. So Miracle, it does lots of other things too. Miracle can basically duplicate any other spell as well. So, like, if you say to yourself, man, I wish I had this very, very particular 7th level spell. You know, oh, that sucks. That I don't have that. You can just be like, oh, I'll use Miracle, and it will copy that spell. And that's a standard use of Miracle. You just can do that. Years of your life is crazy. So Miracle is super strong. But, in fact, Magic does get better at 10th level. At 10th level, which is when you go Epic, and Epic is level 21. Once you hit level 21, you make your own spells. There are pre-listed spells that they suggest you take, and there are costs to each spell. But basically, you just decide what you want to do. And that's fine. 21 is when you start getting them. There's no limit in D&D to how many levels you go. Oh, no. You can go up as high as you want, but as soon as you hit 21, you are considered epic. And once you're epic, all of the rules get thrown out. You get access to all kinds of shit you wouldn't get access to otherwise. It's like restricted rules. They just add a bunch of shit. It's a whole different rule book, actually, too. And you get epic magic. The higher you are, the better your spells will be, because you are higher level. But essentially, that's where the game really starts to get crazy. I don't like playing epic. It's not fun. Everything is broken. It's all rocket tag forever. You know, there are spells, for example, like, you know, it's stupid stuff. Like, I'm trying to think of a perfect example of this. Oh, you can, like, cause an apocalypse, like in a small area, for example. Or, like, you can make your own plane. You make your own plane somewhere in the multiverse where only you have access to, and then you can fill it with whatever you want. So you basically have your own planet, because I think of the planes more as planets. That's the best way to describe them. So you basically create your own planet, and you can just teleport there. Can't wish for an XP boost. And you could, but your deity would not give you an XP boost, thus, you know, because that doesn't make sense. Or it would cost you exactly the same experience to cost it, thus making it pointless. I mean, they could do that too. Yeah, most people don't like getting to that point in the game. When you get to later levels, the game's less fun. The D&D is most fun IMO in the first 11 levels or so. I agree with you, Draconius. So leveling is mostly subjective. There is static experience the encounters should be worth listed in the book. But a lot of DMs, and I've met multiple who do this, would rather not stick to XP values. They would rather the party do what they want to do. Don't worry about fighting on purpose. Do things that are productive. If you're doing things that are productive, you will level. And so that, you know, I've had DMs, and my brother was the first person to pioneer this that I know personally. He basically said, "Look, I don't want you to go fight things for no reason, just to grind. That's a bad situation, right? It shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't be like, oh, I want to level, let me go grind and do nothing, basically. Nothing productive. It should be go do quests you want to do. Do the shit you want to do, and just be productive in general, you will level. So instead of being some slow leveling, fast leveling, it's all subjective to what's going on. If you want a campaign to last a long time on a certain level, you can make it last forever. You can just tell the party right off the bat. I've started campaigns and told people, you won't level basically at all. Like, you're going to start at the level you're going to be for the rest of the campaign. Like, we're level 5, that's it. We will not level. And then the campaign can take as long as you want. It's just up to what people want. If they would like to level, if, like, that's something they enjoy, well, make sure that's a part of the thing. Exactly. Just because, like, you know, there shouldn't be some static overruling thing that tells you when you level. Like, it's not as helpful. It's made for people who don't want to be creative and don't want to feel like they're working against their players. Because people feel like they're like, oh, I don't want to be the guy who tells my players, no, you can't level. But, like, once you get to be a DM long enough, you don't care anymore. As far as running out of content, Azzy, that all depends, right? Think about certain anime. Certain anime are played out after the first season. Certain anime last, like, you know, 30 seasons. It doesn't really matter. Yes. Well, that's the thing. It becomes rocket tag, Azzy. Oops. So, more or less, what ends up happening, IMO, what ends up happening is you get to the point where basically who wins is a coin toss. Because monsters are so broken that there's some amount of balance. And players are so broken that there's some amount of balance. However, usually it's in a non-fun way, right? So it's more or less, oh, we used broken ability and the monster wasn't immune to it, so he loses the battle instantly. Or, oh, the monster used an ability that we don't have a defense against, we die instantly. And it can literally lead to, you might get TPK'd any battle, very reasonably. Or a battle is nothing, it's not even fun. That's the problem. And some people do like that. They like high-level campaigns. I'm not a fan. The highest I've ever done, I think, was the party was 21? I want to say 21. Right, so the main fun of D&D isn't about being the best. IMO, right? That's an opinionated thing. But it's not about being the best. It's not about being broken, you know, the strongest thing and whatever. That's a side thing that's fun. It's about creating a character that you want to see develop and grow in a world where you actually have impact. So you're creating the main character of your narrative, and you're impacting the world around you in a way that will create a lasting memory. Right, chasing big numbers can absolutely be addictive. Like when you're a caster and you're looking at the saves for your spells, you're like, oh, the next level I can make the save go up by 3 because I can actually take a feat for this school of spells and I'll level up and have a higher spell level. It's like, oh yeah, nice. But realistically speaking, D&D isn't about being broken. It's about creating a character that has an impact on the world. My best memories of D&D, like any campaign, are like when I had a really cool interaction with like an NPC or a fellow player that was funny or it was meaningful. I'm getting shot, I'm gonna die. Stuff like that. That's usually the better memories. I don't remember a lot of like, oh yeah, I remember that time that I killed X monster because of broken mechanic. Because it felt trivial, right? So I've had a lot of things I've killed basically with no difficulty. Example. I was a bard. A lot of things I used enchantment for. And I could basically end battles because I was using my spells, my bard spells, in a very battle-ending manner. Because there are some spells as you gain levels, and we were rather high level. And so because of that, a lot of battles weren't fun. The battle I remember the most from my bard, and I mean this, had nothing to do with my spells. I agree with you, Draconius. Oh, well. I had a battle where somebody used a spell called Feeble Mind on me, which lowers your mental stats to basically, you know, you're an idiot. It lowered my mental stats so I couldn't cast spells. If you lower your casting stat down below a certain threshold, you can't cast spells anymore. So they basically took all my spells away like that for the battle. It's you know, people can dispel it after the battle, but at that point, I couldn't cast spells. And they were a caster. So I was like, crap. As a player, I was like, crap, I can't cast any spells, and I'm against somebody who has spells. And I just remembered, like, something funny. I was like, I'm a bard, and people crap talk bards. They're not great at anything. They're casters, but they're not the best casters. They're fighters, but they're not the best fighters. They're rogues, but they're not the best rogues. They're just kind of the compromise class. A lot of people don't like bards for that reason. I usually don't play them. But then I remembered something. I was like, wait a minute. They're a caster. I'm a bard. I'm a better fighter than them, right? Because that's just built into... Right, exactly. Bards are the best. it's built into the character that I'm a better fighter than like I think it was a wizard. Straight. I have higher attack bonus. I already had a little bit more in my stats anyway towards that. And so I was like, I asked the DM, I was like, I might be feeble-minded, but I can still tell friend from foe, right? And he's like, yeah, there's no reason why not. It doesn't specify in the spell. You can't tell the difference. And he's like, but you would revert to what you would do normally. So you can't make an action based off liking or not liking somebody. It has to be what you would do in like a natural state. And the party wasn't really aware of it, but my character was a serial killer prior to the campaign. So my natural state is a murderous monster. And so I said to the DM, technically speaking, my natural state is violent. And he's like, okay, fair. And I was like, this guy is actively threatening me. There's no reason I wouldn't attack. And he's like, okay, that's fair. That's fair. And I was like, all right. And he's like, well, what do? You don't have any spells. I was like, oh, I don't need spells. I grapple him. And he's like, oh, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I'm a bard. So I'm just going to beat him with my fists until he stops moving. And we obviously rolled for a couple rounds, and there was no way the wizard was ever going to get up. And so I just beat him with my fists until he was a bloody pulp and he died. And I was like, that was a memorable moment. It wasn't even because of anything broken. It wasn't because I specialized into those things. It was just those funny interactions that stick with you. I had never wanted to fight somebody with my fists as that character. That wasn't the goal, right? I made him more of an enchanter kind of character. He was a diplomat. He was a smooth talker. And I used poison. I poisoned people. That's how I usually kill people. I was more of an assassin / enchanter. A typical scumbag. And that was the most memorable moment for me. Like, legitimately. That is the thing I remember the most about that campaign. That and when Furry's character died in a hilarious manner. It was way good. I don't even know when Furry is still in chat, but, like, it was the best death ever. I remember that, too, because that was pretty sweet. But, I won't go into it because it's hard to explain. You'd have to know the creatures and stuff, but it was crazy. He died in one round, and it was great. I remember those two moments the best out of that entire campaign. So when you think about D&D, Azzy, it's more about the characters and the interaction between them. So some of the strongest campaigns I've had recently have been because I play with my brother, my sister-in-law, my girlfriend, and Infuri. That's our group. So we already have interpersonal connections, right? I know everybody forever. I've known Infuri since I want to say I was 17, maybe. Right around there, 17, 18, maybe, right around there. And I've known my brother since I was born. I met my girlfriend since I was 20. So it's been like 7 years. Yeah, so since 2013. So she'd be the newest. My brother's girlfriend has been around since, like, I swear it's been like 2003 or something. So I've known her for like 17 years, I swear. I don't even remember, but it's been a long time. I'm probably exaggerating, but it's around there. It's around the early 2000s. So I know these people for a long time. And that creates the best interactions because you create these characters, and I know I'm digressing, but, you know, my brother is... Shit. He's in his early 30s. I'm trying to think... let me get you an exact date because I can do math. Hold on. He started dating her when he was 17. So he's been dating her for 14-ish years. So today, it's 2020 now, so 2006. Okay, mid-2000s. My correction. Right around the mid-2000s is probably when he started dating her. Because that would have made him... Right, yeah, that makes sense. The mid 2000, like 2007 or something, 2008 is when they started dating. Right around there. So I've known her since then, obviously. So the biggest things that we do, though, is it's all that in-character stuff. So me and my girlfriend sometimes make characters that are either know each other prior or they don't, but we have some sort of concept in mind. And we'll either make it like a bad concept, meaning we'll have friction on purpose, or we'll have a good concept where we can kind of play off of each other's characters. And we'll kind of do that with other characters, too. Like, I've made a character that was... Me and my brother played a campaign together, and we made characters that were twins. It was a Vampire the Masquerade campaign, and we were twins. And we never really finished that campaign, which was sad. But we came in as twins together. And it created a weird dynamic, right? Because since our characters were twins, we're already brothers, so it's very easy to roleplay. But since our characters are twins, we had a lot of interesting role-playing opportunities because, like, when you're talking to twins in real life, it's not really that weird, but it kind of is, right? Especially if you can't tell them apart. Because if you don't know these people and you just met them and they're twins, like, now, you might understand who's who in certain circumstances, and you can kind of play off of those certain things. And that's really what I find is key. You know, you should worry about the mechanics a little bit, but simplifying the system is the best thing when you start. Usually when I play with new players, I ask them what kinds of things they want to be good at, and I make their character sheet for them. I explain how the mechanics work, but this is the character sheet you should have. It's not that I don't want you to choose, but it's that I don't want you to be bogged down with, like, so, skills. I can let you choose any skill in the book. You probably shouldn't take things like profession, whatever. That's probably not a great skill. So I usually try to, like, steer people towards skills that are more useful. And I also make it simpler because, like, how I like to do skills is I max all skills. I like to max skills because I just find it to be easier. So I never take a skill halfway in ranks. So, like, if I only have 4 skill points at the start of the game, those skill points go in the same thing. So usually I do that for newer players too because it's just easier to know. Right? Instead of having a different number for every skill, like this one, you had 3, you had 2, you had 1, you had 5, you had 7. It's just skills that you know might be a little different because the stat that goes on them, but more or less, you know, they're easy. Pathfinder I've played a little bit of. Not much. Not that I don't like Pathfinder. Pathfinder is more or less just a reimagining of Dungeons & Dragons 3.5. At least it was. I don't know about 2e necessarily, but it was a reimagining of 3.5 with extra things. It was supposed to also make some of the classes better. So barbarians and stuff were supposed to get bonuses. So I sometimes steal stuff from there. I've absolutely used reference from Pathfinder to create a concept to bring back into 3.5. I'll steal stuff from Pathfinder. I'll steal stuff from 5e when it's appropriate, such as advantage and disadvantage I've done before. But usually when I start somebody, we just start basic 3.5 and we just, like, do it like that. I find that to be easier for everybody, basically. I just closed down Call of Duty. Hold on. Definitely done. It's past 11 anyway. You know, but if you really do want to play Azzy, we can try to, like, work it out as far as remote stuff's concerned. Like I said, you need to have a webcam. It's essential. Seeing the look on my face when we're talking and stuff is very important because, you know, when I'm trying to emote, like, someone you're talking to, an NPC, because as a DM, it's my job to make every NPC at least somewhat interesting or meaningful to the story. I might do subtle things with my face to try to, like, give you, like, the feel of what they do. So, like, I could describe to you as a writer, like, oh, you know, I could say what the shopkeeper says and be like, you know, get out of my store, he sneered or something, you know, like, I don't know. I can describe how he says it. I could describe whatever, but it's easier if I make the facial gestures with it because the message gets carried across infinitely better. Because, like, if you're talking to a shopkeeper and, like, I'm him and I make, like, a face at you, like, you already get an idea of how this person's feeling. Now, you might think it's me and not the shopkeeper, but I try to stay relatively in character, so, like, unless you say something way off base, my reaction should be the reaction of the NPC you're talking to. And sometimes I'll double check. So if I make, like, a weird face like this, I'll be like, he makes this face, just so we're clear. It's not me, it's the character. So, like, you're, like, aware that the person is taken aback by something you said, for example. I'll make sure I find who to raid while I'm talking. You know, that stuff's very important. And being able to see your face lets me know that you're paying attention, and it lets me know that you're, you know, what you're feeling, right? So you might be confused. I might say something, you might be confused, but you might say anything. If I see you, I'll know. I'll notice you're confused. I'll notice something like it's getting you, you know what I mean? Like that head scratch moment, like, what? And it helps people kind of get out of their shells, too. Because when I'm reminded that you're there by visual, I'm more likely to also include you in the story because, like, I'm like, oh yeah, Azzy, like, yes, and I'm gonna bring you more in, bring more stuff around your content. If you really want to know more about D&D and how it's played, my honest advice is, hold on, is this link right here. Has most of the rules and stuff. It does not have all of them. This is called the Hypertext D20 SRD. There's multiple SRD like documents, but this is like the main hub of 3.5. In this has a lot of crazy stuff, realistically speaking, you're only focused on the left part of the page. So I'm not going to show it because it's not important. But there's core rules. The core rules section is what's important. If you just want to browse it on your own, feel free. You absolutely could learn to play D&D without any help. It's a little complex and it's a little dense at times, but it's not impossible. You can learn without anybody helping you. So most of this stuff is much easier in practice than it is in on a conceptual basis. So like choosing a race, for example. This is not all-inclusive in my opinion. The game really doesn't want you to play monsters as races. It says it very clearly. They have level adjustments, which is absolutely... if you know how CR works, it is inconceivable to take a level adjustment in most cases. It is just killer. It is absolute killer. Most of the time. So they punish you for taking a monster as a class. I don't. I make it fair. If you want to be a monster as a class, I'll give you a negative. I might not give a level adjustment, which is absolutely bonkers, but I'll do something. I'll make negatives for your class, for example. Like if your class normally gets your race normally gets extras to strength, I might take away some other stuff, and might be more than a fair exchange. Meaning you get 2 strength in the race, I might take like 4 charisma and like 2 dex. Like I'm gonna gut you for it. And I'm going to let you know that up front. I'm going to be like, yo, you want to play something ridiculous? Like, this is going to be crazy. Something that makes it fair. So, usually playing as the base races is better when you start. But, like, I'm open. As far as things are concerned, as long as we can work it out as a fair deal, I don't really care. But this is where you really want to be, Azzy, to be honest with you. I would start in order because this is how you make characters. It's, race, class, well, race and basics, which includes your stats. Stats, class, pick your skills, pick your feats. Then just know how the game works. So then combat comes and stuff like that, special abilities. Magic gets complicated in general. The biggest thing that's going to get you, Azzy, is that when you look at anything, any class is the perfect example. Like I'm here right now, but if you, I know you can't see it because I'm not sharing the screen, but if you click on the classes, it's going to show you this complex table where it's like level 1st through 20, and then below, to the side of that, it's like base attack bonus, and it goes all the way down. Fort save, reflex save, will save, all the way down. That can sometimes be a little bit much, but it actually follows a much simpler explanation than it looks like. They won't tell you this. I don't think it says it anywhere in the original 3.5 book, even though it should. I think it might say it in the monster part, but it doesn't say it in the human part. It's because there's only 3 types of progressions on most things. There's either 2 or 3 depending on the stat of 3.5. And this is for everybody who knows D&D because I know there's other people in the chat. So like base attack bonus, you're like, why do I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as a barbarian, but as a rogue I get 0, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4. Why is it like that? Why do I get 2 for 2 levels? Is this random? It's not actually. It's because it's a fraction. So any main fighting class gets 1 base attack every level. Any partial gets 3/4, so 0.75. So if you're wondering why sometimes you stay at a level, it's because you go 0.75 is 0, 1.5 is 1, 2.25 is 2, 3 is 3, 3 and 3/4 is still 3. So you hit 3 twice. That's what it is. It's 0, 1, 2, 3, 3. It's because you're adding fractions, so it's not as complicated as it looks. And mages get half. So it's half, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. And it gets way simpler when you understand that there's actually a mechanic going on in the background. Because I don't need these charts anymore. The only thing I ever forget is people's saves. I forget which people have good and bad saves because there's good and bad saves. That one I forget. But I know everybody's attack bonus, and I can easily calculate very quickly. If you, like, tell me what level I am, I can take 60 seconds and I can figure out what my attack bonus is supposed to be. Without the book. I don't need it. And that's something you get better at. You start to understand how characters are created, and then you understand how to balance characters. So because I have enough experience, I'm not going to pretend I'm not the most, experienced DM ever in life, but I do know what I'm doing. Enough so. Either way, if you have more questions about D&D, Azzy, feel free, or anybody, feel free to message in the Discord. I like to answer questions about D&D in general. I'll just be honest, if you're going to try 5th edition, don't ask me. Because it's just not my thing. we are gonna raid Obliterated because they're playing For Honor, and you know me, I love my For Honor, even though I haven't played in forever. So I appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time.
Kind of came back.